You ready to go from this to this? In this video, we are going to give you everything you need for a great kipping ring muscle up. Before we get into the drills, it's important to have the base level of strength. I recommend at least 3 palms forward, ring to chest, and 3 deep dips. Before we go high, we have to start low. Take the bottom of the ring to the top of your hip. Drill number 1 is the high hip face pull. This is teaching active backward pressure. Feet underneath the rings, sit hips down. Then drive hips open, and we are going to pull the rings to our eyes. The next drill is the dynamic face pull. Same thing as we did on the last drill, but now with dynamic hips. Feet underneath, hips down. We are going to fire hips fast, pull to eyes. The final drill in this series is the dynamic transition. Make sure that we have the tick, boom, as we're turning over. Feet under the rings, hips back, fire with tension backwards, then snap down. For the next series of drills, we're taking the top of the ring to your hip. Before we get on the rings, we have to understand what our hips are doing on their own. Start laying down with feet in front. Going to take our knees to our chest until our shins get vertical. From there, we're going to fire hips up and over and finish in a hip drive position. Should look like this. Note, I want that speed, not faster. We're going to do that same hip drill, but while holding the rings. Notice on that first part that my arms remain straight. The first true drill in this series is called the 90 to face pull. Starting in our bottom position, pulling knees to chest and firing. Once we feel the moment of weightlessness, we're going to pull to our face. You should finish this drill in a rainbow position looking at the ceiling. The next drill in this series is the 90 to transition. Remember, we must have the tick, that active pressure back, before we have the boom, the snap down to neutral. Legs in front, bringing knees to chest, firing up and transitioning. Once we understand the 90 series, we shift it to the rock. When I say rock, I want you to think rocking chair. Rings are going to be forward with a pretend string tied from the bottom of the rings to my toes. As the rings go back, my toes follow. The first drill in the rocking series is going to be the rock to face pull. This should look very similar to the 90 to face pull, but now we're adding an element of momentum. Remember, bottom of the ring attached to your toes. The final drill in this series is the rock to transition. If you can understand this drill well, it will help tremendously on your kipping muscle up. Remember, string tied from the bottom of the ring to your toes, rocking all the way back, tick, boom, into transition. If we want to increase difficulty on the rock to transition drill, we can raise the rings. The more you raise the rings, the more like a true muscle up it becomes. Let's talk about the final and my favorite drill series, the swing to box drills. Let's start with setup. 2 24-inch boxes stacked. The back edge of the box in line with the rings. Rings set to where tippy toes are just above the ground in a hang. This drill starts slow, but hang with me, it builds on itself. Anytime we are swinging on the rings, we initiate with an L-set start. From there, heels drive back as we press the rings forward. Toes are then going to come back through and end at the level of the box. Hips always continue to rise, and we finish with that tick and potentially the boom. The first drill is the swing to sit. We are going to hang, initiate in the L-set, swing back. My feet are going to land on the box with arms straight and hips low. This drill builds the foundation for all of the rest. The next drill is the swing to sit plus face pull. On this drill, it is going to match what we did with the swing to sit, but then we are going to dynamically fire the hips as we pull the rings to our eyes. Pause here. Now fire hips. If you did this correctly, you should end up in a rainbow position. The next drill is the swing to sit plus transition. We are going to get into our sit position, dynamically fire the hips, then tick, boom, into our transition. Pause here, fire hips, tick, boom. Understanding the transition here will make the next transitions so much easier. For our next two drills, we're taking the sit portion out. Our next drill is the swing to face pull. Initiating the L sit, swinging legs back as rings swing forward. Our toes are going to come back through. Our toes stop at the level of the box while hips continue to rise. We are going to begin that face pull as our feet stomp on the box and finish in that big rainbow position. All that's left is the transition. Same setup. L sit, drive back, rings drive forward. Toes come forward, we start to create tension. Toes are going to stop at the level of the box. Hips rise. We are going to snap the rings from the tick to the boom as our feet land. As you get better and better at this drill, your goal is to catch in the bottom position before your feet land. Once you understand this drill at a deep level, take the boxes away. Tips for a great ring muscle up. Start in a dead hang. Pull your legs into an L sit to begin. Heels drive back as rings press forward. As the toes start coming forward, we create tension backwards by covering our ears. Toes stop at belly button level. Hips continue to rise. From there, we create the tick, which is active backward pressure, helping us rise higher on the rings. As we get to that apex of the swing, we do the boom, that snap down to catch. If you are looking for your first kipping ring muscle up, or you just want to improve your current kipping ring muscle ups, follow these drills. Remember, we want to start at the lowest level drills, building the foundation for the more advanced skills. Do not rush this process. We want to make sure we understand at a fundamental level how to do these drills so that we can build into a really strong kipping ring muscle up. Don't forget, we've got drills posted every single day. Don't forget to follow.